What's up, guys? So a little bit different thing here for you. I am doing a this is me doing a or this is Nerd Dad does a update to a 2007 Mac Mini. So this Mac Mini is a Core 2 Duo 2007 edition. It's an Intel processor, which is why it's a Core 2 Duo. I still have this computer. I actually did this update a while ago, and I'm just now getting to editing this video, but this computer works well. It's actually really fast, and I believe it has 1 gig of RAM in its stock, and I am updating it to 2 gigs of RAM, but it can go up to 4. I plan on taking it up to 4. I actually misordered the RAM for it. I meant to get 4, and I had a bunch of different eBay auctions that I was looking at when I was looking for the RAM, and I just misordered. So, but anyways, getting it up to 2 gigs of RAM allowed me to update the OS to the top spec OS, which is OS 10 Lion. I think that's 10.7 or 10.8. So to get this thing apart, you need the putty knives, which you saw me prying, and then you have to press the little clips on the Wi-Fi antenna, and there's 4 screws around the perimeter. So here I am undoing the screws, and they're kind of a pain in the ass. There's one that is actually covered slightly, and I forget which one it is. There's plenty of other YouTube videos that are more technical than mine that will show you how to do this. It's not terribly difficult. If I can do it, you can do it. But I remember, I think it's the one on this one that I'm working on right here that is a bit of a PETA, because I know I had to cut the video a couple times to stop and try to get a different tool and get it out of there. But the best thing that you can do is just have a magnetized driver bit. Leave the screw in the slot when you pull the hard drive slash optical drive assembly out. Leave the screw in there, and then when you put this thing back together, the screw will naturally kind of get pushed up by the housing, and then you can just screw it right back down. So a little trial and error. It's a little something that maybe you don't see in the other videos. One thing that I would encourage you to do is to just take your time if you decide to do what I've done here, because I actually, after I finished making this video, and there's the RAM, you just pop it out. There's 2 clips on the side, and you just move them, and it pops right out. It's super easy to do. It's not as easy as the 2009 and up Mac Minis up until 2014, where you just literally unscrew the bottom lid. I highly recommend you just to spray out your computer, especially if it hasn't been cleaned, which is what I'm doing now. Because you do have to take the whole hard drive slash optical drive assembly off. But once you get down to it, you just undo the clips, and the RAM will pop right out for you. Another little mistake that I made here, and it's right here, you can see I don't push this stick of RAM in all the way. You can probably tell it was a little bit hard to get it in there seated right, because it's the bottom RAM, but I don't push it in all the way. You can tell it's kind of a little bit wobbly, but I ended up having to take the computer apart again to fix that, because the computer wouldn't boot. And then I fixed that problem, and the computer booted just fine. And then that little thing that you just saw me move my finger right there, that's the ZIF connector for the audio bus. And if you don't make sure that thing is inserted all the way, you're going to end up having to put the computer together again, because that's what happened to me. I had the whole thing put back together, and it's a ZIF connector, so that means zero insertion force. Basically, you just stick it in the slot, and then there's a little clip that holds it in place, and you have to put the clip on top of the ZIF connector, and I think I put it underneath it, which is why the ZIF connector popped back out. But I noticed it because I didn't have any audio, so yeah. And I don't know exactly what it is I'm doing right here. I think there's some clips that are in the way that I'm nudging out of the way with that little mini screwdriver. But yeah, and then I was just testing to make sure that I had the Wi-Fi antenna clipped in correctly. And then back again with the screws. Again, magnetized drivers make your life super easy at this point. And if you don't have them, nearly impossible to do this job, and I wouldn't even encourage you to set out to do it. You can get magnetized drivers like what I'm using here for super duper cheap. I go to El Walo Marto, the dread El Walo Marto, around Xmas time, because they always have, I don't know about your Walmart, but my local El Walo Marto usually has like all these like gift sets and things in the aisle that they've put out right around Thanksgiving time for Christmas gifts. And there goes the lid back on, or the top case I should say. And they always have like little driver sets for like $5 or $10. This actually set is a Cobalt set I got from Lowe's, and I think I spent $5 on it, and I got two sets of driver bits. I got some Torx bits and whatnot, and it worked out well. So super handy to use. And anyways, I highly recommend that you go and check out Walmart or whatever for your low cost needs.